We are back. We are back for the Corner 3 pod. Back in the building. A jam packed episode for y'all tonight. Jam packed also for the mailbag segment. Y'all came through again and again and again. I don't know if we're going to be able to get to all of them. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know if we'll be able to get to all of them, but we appreciate y'all. We appreciate the support. Make sure y'all go check in, tap in, follow, subscribe to the Basketball Intelligence newsletter. Before we get into the episode, fellas, how y'all doing tonight?
Good, man. I'm just happy to be back as usual. And I appreciate Jarrett for showing up proper.
Doing pretty good tonight, I got my Vince on, ready to get started.
Hey, for the listeners that hear this on the back end, I know last episode totally forgot to get the audio and put it down because when it's live, it's already up there. This episode, we will have this on audio. For those that are listening, please go check out YouTube. But if you, for whatever reason, can't check out YouTube, Jarrett has on a Toronto Raptors Vince Carter shirt. And if you followed this pod at all or followed just the mayor, he is a fan of Vince Carter. Starting off this episode, we are going to get into one of the questions that we asked on Threads, which did very well. A lot of y'all chimed in. We're going to ask our co-host on this show, Rush and Jarrett, the origin story of their fandom of their favorite teams. Jarrett, you're going to start it off. What's the origin story for you being a New York Knicks fan?
So for me, all my family is from New York. So we just, grew up in the house watching Knicks games, rooting for. So this is the Patrick Ewing era. This is not Melo. This is not Stephon Marbury era. This is Patrick Ewing, 90s. Like I have an older family. My brother's probably about like 60 something right now. But yeah, so growing up watching them and rooting for them. I remember watching games against Jordan. I remember seeing the Knicks go to the finals in 94 and 99. Losing both of them, unfortunately, but always been a diehard Knicks fan. And I always enjoyed the rivalry with the New Jersey Nets. Was a big Jayson Kidd fan growing up as well. So always enjoyed those games. Went to a lot of Nets games when I was younger, a lot more than Knicks games because Nets were no more cheaper than Knicks games, What was it called at the time? It wasn't the Prudential Center, was it?
Izod Center.
Izod Stadium, yeah. I think
and you had Meadowlands.
The Meadowlands, yeah. It was something else before Izod. Forgot what it was at that time. But definitely remember taking that bus ride over to Jersey from New York, from Times Square. So those were definitely some of my very early basketball roots.
Hey, before we get into Rush and his Lakers fandom, right? For you, who comes to mind though as one of the underrated, undersung, underappreciated New York Knicks players of all time?
Oh, so I'll give you one that we actually seen at All-Star Weekend. Wilson Chandler, when we was at the party and everything. So I actually told him, like, hey, Wilson, you was one of my favorite Knicks growing up. Like, that was my guy back in the day. So definitely him. Jamal Crawford was definitely one of those guys. You could throw Chris Childs in there. You can throw – everybody loves Anthony Mason. Who else I can think of? Oakley's always a big favorite. But I feel like I actually posted this on Threads the other day. One person I really liked as a Knick was Alonzo Trier. Don't know why he didn't stick in the league. Well, a few people gave their opinions why, but nothing really was like a factual comment, in my opinion. So I feel like he was a really good player. I feel like he was one of the better players that season. I think it was like 2013, 2014. And I don't know, man. I felt like he was going to be like a nice piece for us, but didn't work out.
He was Cam Thomas before Cam Thomas.
And listen, I'm a Cam Thomas fan, though. And I know a lot of people don't like Cam Thomas, but I'm a
that would explain why you put Alonzo Trier on your list.
Oh
I
man,
like buckets, man. I like people. I like guards who can undersized guards who can get buckets.
hey, I as a Lakers fan love Wilson Chandler too because one of my favorite Wilson Chandler memories is Kobe in the garden, pump fake, pivot, turn. If I had the same courage as you, I would have told him, "Hey, I know Kobe like playing against you too."
Stay down on those fakes.
Hey, Rush, where did your Lakers fandom start? Now, we obviously, the people on this screen and those that have obviously followed and been tapped into you, know your story of your Lakers fandom, but we got it's new people here. We invited new people over to the family meeting that may not know. So, if you could share with the people your Lakers fandom story.
Yeah, just to make a relatively long story short, my parents both met. They met each other in Los Angeles. My dad had been living out there for a few years. My aunt and my cousin was out there. So he was in the army. Once he got out of the army, he went and stayed with them in LA. And after a few years, he ended up going to church. Turns out it was the same church my mom's great aunt went to. My mom was living up there, even though she was from Memphis, Tennessee. Shout out to my Memphis family. Don't let these NBA players talk bad about the city. And then they ended up meeting at church. My mom actually ended up calling my dad because, not to get too much into the story, my dad actually was on stage speaking, and my mom noticed him. He kind of noticed her, but she was sitting next to one of her cousins. But he was old enough that my dad thought that's who she was with, even though it was just a cousin. So he didn't think anything of it. So he goes back to the house. My mom ended up getting the number for where he stayed from someone at the church. She called. They connected. They ended up dating. Fast forward, both of my brothers were born. I'm the youngest of three. They were born in LA. And when it came time for me to be born, we ended up moving to Virginia. But throughout my childhood, anytime a basketball game was on, an NBA basketball game was on, it was the Lakers because, my dad was in LA, so he rooted for all the local teams. My brothers were born in LA, so they grew up watching all the LA teams. So the Lakers are always on. I didn't get into the NBA until I was like around my teenage years, 12, 13. But when I did get into the NBA was right around the time, Vince Carter came. So as Jarrett is wearing the shirt, it feels appropriate. That's when I fell in love with the game. And I followed Vince for years. He was my favorite player. I didn't have a favorite team. It was basically whatever team he was on. So it ended up being the Toronto Raptors, eventually the Nets, and then all the other teams that he joined in his twilight years. So once he retired, I was like, I still appreciate all these players. The league is probably as good as it's ever been, top to bottom. But, I wanted to still have a fandom. So I figured why not root for my family's hometown team. So that's sort of how I arrived as a Lakers fan, optimistic Lakers fan, and a rational Lakers fan, I would like to say.
Hey, same question to you, right? Who comes to mind for you as one of some of the underrated, undersung Lakers players in their illustrious history?
Unsung. I like to go with the guys, again, Chris Lindsay's school of thought. I like to go with the guys that actually saw play. So Smush Parker is obviously top of mind. No, I'm playing. Devin George, Brian Shaw, a lot of the glue guys who sort of helped that team, be as dominant as they were during the run. Robert Horry, obviously the dish everybody remembers the shot over Weber. Derek Fisher, like just all the role players, really. It's easy to say Kobe and Shaq and then Powell later on, Ron Artest, but it was the role players hitting timely shots at big moments throughout the course of their run, the first three-peat, and then even in Kobe and Powell's back-to-back. A lot of times it was the role players who, arrived at met those big moments to help them keep their run. So those are a few that come to mind.
I have a question.
I like to before I like to throw just a couple because I'm not gonna go through sharing another Lakers story. But Sasha Vujacic, that's another name I like to throw in there.
Sasha,
Lamar, yep, Lamar Odom. I loved Lamar Odom. I think he could have been more than a role player, but I'm glad he was a role player for those Lakers squads. Trevor Ariza. Trevor Ariza was a huge piece to what the Lakers did when he came there. And even throwing that mix, Matt Barnes. I think I just like Kobe's mentality in that regard. The year before,
Yeah.
a couple years before, whatever it was, he attempts to peg you in the face with the ball, and you call him and say, "Yo, I need you to come over here this summer." Ultimate guy that wanted to win. Shout out to Ben in the chat. Don't remind me of that shot over Weber, heartbreaking. But Jarrett, what was you about to chime in with?
So, I know it'd be a lot of controversy about players getting their jersey retired, yada yada yada. Do you think, for both of you guys, since you both are Lakers fans, do you think Derek Fisher's jersey should be retired? I'll give you my answer. I think yes. If like Nick Collison's jersey retired at OKC, then why not Derek Fisher? Kobe didn't win without him. I think Kobe said that was his favorite teammate of all time.
Yeah, I remember he did say that was his favorite teammate. He always came ready to win, focused. I can understand that on the OKC side, being that at the time it wasn't much history. The Lakers, though, with those other names that's up there in the rafters, Worthy and Magic and Kareem and even Chuck Hearns and Gail Goodrich and all of those names, I don't know if D-Fish makes it into the rafters. I know he is extremely valuable and important to that Lakers franchise and organization in those rings, but on both stints, because he was on the Lakers for 2 stints. I think they value him and his importance to the team. I don't see, being that it's the Lakers, I can't see them actually going through with putting his jersey in that specific rafters. I mean.
I think because it's the Lakers, I think that they should, in my opinion. Like I think the prestigiousness of the organization and them winning culture, like they always base everything off of winning. Fisher being the point guard that was there for them championships, I feel like they should. I mean, of course, I'm not the one making them decisions, but
Yeah, I can understand the sentiment, but like Tone said, I would say probably not. But you obviously can't tell the story of the Lakers, those 5 championships without talking about Derek Fisher. So, but
hey, I want to ask you. You think Melo gets his jersey retired by the Knicks?
Yeah, definitely. Unquestioned. No question about it. I think they already announced that they're gonna retire his jersey.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I think they said it sometime. I think right before he got inducted into the Hall of Fame. I want to say around that time.
That's good.
Yeah.
Hey, if you in here from NBA Threads, you watching the live right now, we got a couple people in here already. Shout out to y'all. Drop NBA Threads in the comments. Let us know where you watching, where you came from, NBA Threads. If you new here from YouTube, drop it in the comments. Staying with Melo though. So, all right, cool.
Real quick, don't forget to shout out the Basketball Intelligence.
I got them at the intro.
You're gonna do it later. Okay, my bad.
No, I got them at the intro.
Yeah, in the beginning.
Oh, the intro. My fault. You said it during the intro?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, I was checked out. My bad.
We good. Staying with Melo, right? Do you think it's a possibility? I think obviously it's a higher chance with the Knicks. Not saying that he shouldn't, but in regards of his career, obviously I think it's a higher chance with the Knicks. Do you think the Nuggets, especially being that Jokic wears 15 now, he didn't win a championship there. Jokic was able to bring one there. Do you see Melo's jersey getting retired with Denver?
Yeah, I had no animosity towards Denver because of this whole situation. But I do think that they can retire his jersey and retire both of them. Like, I mean, you have to retire Jokic, but I feel like you can do Melo as well. So, interesting point about that. So, King Sabonis, he wears 11, right? 11's already retired in Sacramento. I forgot from who. I mean, I know Ben is Kings fan, so maybe he can attest to this. So the family of the player whose jersey is retired, 11, they let Sabonis wear 11, like, as a blessing, they let him wear it. So I feel like it's possible to have two jerseys retired with the same number. I mean, Melo, he didn't bring a championship, but the thing is, he brought them back to winning ways. He hasn't missed the playoffs when he was in Denver. They were a lottery team before he got there, and he's a top 75 player. He spent majority of his career with Denver, so why would you not retire his jersey?
Just to give for those that are watching, number 11 for the Sacramento Kings was a guy by the name of Bob Davies. Now, I don't know who that is. Again, Ben, if you're in here, maybe Ben could educate us on who he is. Never heard of the guy, but Bob Davies was the player for the Kings that has the number 11 that was retired. A name that we do know and that was discussed even today still, unfortunately, for the last couple of days, and some would say broke threads. It broke X. It broke the internet. Bam Adebayo dropped 83 points. And it's been a lot of discourse on it. We've already shared our thoughts on our own personal thread accounts, but what are your thoughts on the discourse and how some people don't like it, some people do like it? Spoke came out, said, I don't have nothing to apologize for. Rush, you take it away on this Bam discourse on the 83 piece.
I don't know, man. It's unfortunate that we all got to witness something that was historic and really special and totally unexpected. Like, obviously you don't expect anyone to score 83 points in a game, but you definitely don't expect it to be Bam, right? And that's no shade to him. It's just not the kind of player profile that you would expect to get that kind of scoring mark. So it's just a shame that we can't overwhelmingly, I guess, as a community, NBA basketball community, just enjoy it for what it is. And it's just a great moment, historic moment, because people wanted to criticize how it happened. And I get it. The fourth quarter was not the prettiest brand of basketball that you'll ever see. It's not. But I mean, it was a beautiful thing to watch it up till he got to 70. And then when you're at 70, I mean, why not go for the award? I mean, why not? How many opportunities are you going to get as a player, as a coach who's coaching a team, to have a player in that position to, break Kobe's scoring mark? So I think a lot of the frustration is expected, but at the same time, or a lot of the complaining is expected, but at the same time, it's disappointing. But I went back and looked. There were players who had less than congratulatory tones when Kobe scored 81. There are players who were saying, well, how is this going to impact the game? Or from a team standpoint, I don't think it's, that good of a thing. People were wondering how it was going to impact younger players who are watching it coming up. So I think this is just probably an inherent thing in us for some reason. It's just when we see an amazing achievement to criticize it. But as time goes on, as we all sort of overwhelmingly collectively view Kobe's mark with, prestige, and you don't really hear anybody talking badly about it now. I think in 20 years, 15, 20 years, people will probably overwhelmingly speak positively about Bam and how he got it, or the fact that he holds the second most points scored in an individual game. And for everybody who's mad about how it happened, go read about how Wilt got it the first time. I got the 100 points the first time. Like, you talk about manipulation, they were manipulating the game too. They were, they were fouling so that they could get the ball back. Wilt shot 32 free throws. So very rarely do these things happen, and it's just purely ethical basketball. A lot of times there's some manufacturing going on. There's teams trying to do what they can to get the ball back so their guy can continue to run it up. So hopefully in a couple of days, this thing will blow over and we can get back to talking about whether or not the Lakers are better without LeBron or something else. I don't know.
Hey, so Doc is in the building. Shout out to Doc. He said he wants the corner three to record us all taking 43 free throws. Y'all let us know in the chat who you think will have the highest percentage out of us three. Maybe that's something that we could do. I know Rush already does his videos. That's a part of his daily routine is getting some shots up. So maybe Rush records it sometime this week.
Hey,
Jarrett.
Can y'all see my laundry behind me? Can you see laundry in the corner?
Okay. I don't see no laundry.
Nah.
I just wanted. It was up there at first. I wanted to get out of the way just in case Tone clipped this for social. So I'm like, I can't have dirty drawers behind me while we're recording the pod. So I just wanted to make sure it wasn't visible.
Nah, that's smart because I know if it was shown later and probably just sees it in the background might not be received well. So definitely.
Why you got my drawers on YouTube? I'm like, sorry, babe, I ain't know. Should have been
exactly. Hey, I was about to call you Vince. Hey, Jarrett, what was your thoughts on kind of? It was actually even mentioned in one of our mailbag questions, which since we're on the topic, I won't even wait to the end to use this one. But Bam, it was from Dino Luck. Shout out to Dino.
My man Dino.
Yeah, Dino.
Bam dropping 83 was another stress test for modern NBA product. Why do fans instantly turn historical nights into audits about free throws, pace, weak opponents, stat pad instead of just letting something absurd be absurd? Does it say more about today's NBA and online discourse or the way GOAT debates have broken people's brains? What is your take on that question in the Bam situation and what you would possibly change about basketball discourse?
First off, that was a very good question, Dino. I think it does speak on the current state of basketball discourse because people are so quick to try to put the negatives on someone's great performance or a championship, or someone's game. Like someone is just quick to nitpick and tear someone down in this league, which is honestly why we just can't appreciate greatness. I always said, well, a few years ago, I used to always say, we're going to miss certain players that we used to always tear down and realize how great they were. So you have to just live in the moment and appreciate these players while they're still here in the league. And me personally, I've always been a big Bam fan, but always been a fan of him because of the defense, the ball handling, to be able to pass. Never would I have thought he would have scored 83.
Hey,
Honestly,
Jarrett said he got a YouTube playlist with Bam highlights on it.
I actually do.
He posted the evidence too.
I actually do. I have a whole playlist of mid-range players, and Bam is in there because I like his game. I really do. But I never thought he would score 83, to be honest with you.
No, nobody did.
Yeah, but literally, I mean, honestly, it's like these fans, do you guys like basketball? Do you guys like the NBA? It's like, why we just can't appreciate how great this really was, even if it was 43 free throws. People are complaining about, it being 43 free throws. Then people are complaining about, he missed 7 of the free throws. It's like, first off, it's a center. How often do we see a center miss only 7 free throws? Took plenty of time Shaq went to the line and missed like 10, 15, 20 free throws. Like, I think actually Bam broke the record for free throws attempted in the game, which was previously held by Dwight Howard. And I think Dwight Howard probably missed at least 10 of those free throws in that game. So we just need to appreciate the greatness behind a historic night. And for the so-called Kobe fans who are mad that Bam broke his record, Kobe would be happy about this. Kobe would appreciate someone going over his record, pushing the game forward. And the quote on Kobe's statue was, leave the game in a better spot than you found it. What did Bam do? He broke a record. He has pushed the game forward. Now, more players will probably think, hey, listen, this is a possibility that I can probably break 83. 81 was broken. Maybe I can go for it. And Am I saying it would be done anytime soon? No. Maybe it'll be done in the future. Who knows? But it's been 20 years, 21 years since Kobe scored 81. Was it 05, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so.
There we go. So 21 years, record was broken. Who knows? Maybe another 20 years, someone else will break it. We just gotta appreciate what it is, and even if it's with free throws, it don't matter how you got it done.
Yeah, and I want to jump in, Tone, before you get your piece, because I know we said we weren't going to spend too much time on this, and it's kind of lagging a little bit. But agree with everything Jarrett said. Another big part of this is one of the issues that we discussed a few episodes ago about basketball discourse is people are just looking at box scores. They're looking at quick tweets, summarizations on social media, and if you watch that first quarter, first half, like the repertoire, like Bam was hooping. What I'm saying? Like people think he was just foul baiting and just shooting free throws. Like, no, dude was hooping, and it was one of the better individual performances like I've seen in some time. Obviously, you put it together collectively, the whole 4 quarters is historic. But as they've said in the chat, I think Doc said it, and I think Professor, I can't remember the name. I couldn't see it, and I'm terrible. My memory's terrible anyway. People not being familiar with Bam's game and the total progression, like to see where he was when he came into the league to now a player in history books. I mean, it's just beautiful. So I think the Kobe piece, people nostalgia, people just having an immense affinity for Kobe, which I do myself, not really truly being able to be objective about it. That's playing into it. This culture where we just immediately look to discredit something that's perceived to be great, that's perceived to be unprecedented or historic, and then just people not actually watching basketball but wanting to comment on it. I think you put all that together and you get why the reaction has been as mixed as it has. But there have definitely been a lot of people giving him his flowers too. So there are people who are keeping their perspective pure from the standpoint of, hey, this is great. This is a great feat. Give Bam his due, and let's just keep the game moving.
Hey, real quick. So I value every single W. I appreciate every single person. I think it's dope that we got somebody from Brazil in the chat. Shout out to Undefeated ASD. Shout out. We got somebody from Brazil over here rocking out with the corner 3. That's really dope. Appreciate you hopping on. Like you said, Doc was in here. Great, very good point. Bam's progression from where his career started to where he's at now. He didn't come into the league as a bucket getter. And I was actually saying to somebody literally last week, like, yo, if you watch Bam, granted, it's summertime, it's summer league, but if you watch Bam in the summertime, when he's on with Mike Beasley at those We the Ones runs, he gets to see firsthand. Bam is I remember last summer, they won the championship in Miami Pro-Am League. The championship game, Bam had like 46, 14, and 8. Bam honestly could have been not the 83, but he could have been scoring more. He really buys into Heat culture. I'm going to play the game the right way. I'm going to play my role. And if you look at his career, he's never had the opportunity to be the guy. So even this season, it's still something that's a learning aspect for him of being the quote unquote guy. He had D-Wade, Jimmy Butler, and then you in a situation where Tyler Herro's a bucket and Norman Powell.
I'm about to say that Norman Powell's supposed to have been the guy for them this year.
At least for scoring wise. You feel me? So it's like, and like Ben is saying, he is their best passer as well. So it's not a team where he can really go get 25, 30, 35 points. But I never thought that he wasn't capable of doing it. I wish he actually was more aggressive because I'm like, Bam could do that.
Yeah.
Y'all late to the party. Bam could go get 30, 35.
So you know what's funny about that though? Bam won the skills competition before. And that's like what you could see the skill set with him. And like he always had that type of game. And like you said, Tone, like he just sacrificed for the better man of the team. And, even though they have won the championship, they've been to 2 finals with him technically being the second best player. So he's capable. Like he's able to go get his. It's just we don't expect from him. And Spo don't put him in a situation where he's going to score like that.
Hey, shout out! Stop letting him roam in these chats, man. We're trying to have serious basketball conversations. He's talking about Capri Sun and stuff, man. Like we're trying to have ethical. Hey, look, we're trying to have ethical discourse.
Shout out to Professor Jackson in the building too, man. Shout out to you. Giving good points. That's who, for those that's just hopping in, that's who Rush was talking about earlier, who had the good comment. Gary is in the building. 1v1 game to 11. How many points each of you giving Bam?
One.
Do I get ball first? I mean, it don't matter. I'm just curious. Do I at least get a shot attempt off before I don't get the ball back? Hey, but Gary can attest to this. Like, Tone, to piggyback off what you're saying, like a lot of people don't really understand how skilled a lot of these players are because they play certain roles within their team scheme. Like, I'm not saying Spo is holding Bam back offensively, but you'd be surprised watching these guys in gyms, watching these guys in open runs, like how many of them are just certified buckets. I mean, obviously you're talking about the top 2%, 1% of basketball players in the world, but a lot of these guys would fill it up. Like in a one-on-one or in a pickup situation. But when it comes to these teams and their schemes and the players that they have around them, a lot of them fit within certain roles. But yeah, a lot of these guys are capable of doing incredible things, but they don't because it may not be needed of them, or they may be needed. Yeah, they may need to exert their energy and their attention, their effort in other facets of the game. So I'm sure Gary, having trained like professional players, NBA players, like he can attest to that. And shout out to Gary and Ty. I saw Ty in the chat too.
Shout out to Ty. Shout out to Gary. One of them ones. He know what he talking about when he talking about people that know ball. Gary definitely is one of the ones that know ball. And of course, I completely agree, Ron. Yo, if this happened on the Knicks, yes, it would be received, I feel, differently. You talking about the Mecca. If this happened in MSG, it would be completely different. And Knicks fans are on another level. They would have shut it down on the internet. Y'all wouldn't be able to get no words in hating on this achievement at all. Knicks fans would have not let it happen. And D-Wade attested to that because it was a week before. He said, ain't no buzz in the city in Miami. There's no buzz right now. They got other stuff to do. They got other things to do. They go to the beach. Look, they go to the club. It's a lot of good eats.
I love that. Y'all know I love basketball. But if I'm in Miami, look, man, it might get knocked down a couple levels on the list of things that I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, I've been in Miami 4 or 5 times. I ain't going to a Heat game yet.
Me neither. Same.
Exactly. I'll catch it on you, man.
Fox, staying with Bam though, right? To show Bam some love, right? Just again about his career. One of the things that is definitely in his bag and what he's more known for is the defensive side. But he does not have a DPOY. And we see that with some players in different awards. Like there's a possibility that we see, for example, Jalen Brunson, as good as he is, as great as he's been in certain years, he may never get an MVP. As good as, for example, you can make the face all you want. Ain't no way. It's a high probability that he with a league with Luka, Wemby, Jokic, SGA. It might not happen, and that wouldn't negate how great he is and what type of career he has. Like that wouldn't negate it. Same with Bam. Bam is one of the best defensive players in his generation. Do you think at any point though that he actually, like we talk about Nash and Kobe MVP award, was there ever a year that y'all feel that Bam possibly got robbed the DPOY?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think it's, when you consider the fact that it's a narrative driven award. But also, I just think there are guys that have been a little bit better than him on that end of the floor, who have won it, or who would be ahead of him in terms of the award. But that doesn't take anything away from him though either. So
I do think the opportunity to win it may never happen again with a league that has Wemby in it now. So I think it may never happen just because of the Wemby effect. And I agree with Gary. It also depends on the minimum game. If they keep that rule in place, you might see a year that a player that probably wouldn't win MVP actually wins MVP or DPOY or most improved player or sixth man of the year, because that's going to impact a lot of players, especially when you talk about a Wemby. I don't know if we're ever going to see Wemby play all 82 games. He's going to miss games throughout the season. I can see that definitely happening. I'll say this, right? And Jarrett, you could take it away after that. I say definitely 2022, Marcus Smart won that year. I feel he could have won that year. I think that was the year when everybody was complaining and talking about a guard hasn't won it since 1947, so they gave it to a guard that year. I think Bam could have won that year. 2023, Jaren Jackson Jr. won that year.
You just don't like Jarrett Jackson Jr. So don't try to take it. Yeah, it was a good year. It was a good year.
So this is my argument for that, right? So Jarrett Jackson Jr. didn't have per se the stats that we look in the box score that everybody looks for. Top in blocks, tops in rebounds. We already know his rebounding issue. That was even more of a reason for Bam that year, because Bam, I think where he goes under the radar when it comes to this conversation, because people sometimes just attribute being great defensively to rebound, steals, and blocks. But for example, this year in February, the number one defensive team was, drumroll, the Miami Heat. And who's that because? Bam could guard 1 through 5. Jaren Jackson can't guard the 1 through 5. He could barely guard 4 and 5 a lot of times. Just saying. So I think Bam could have got it one of those 2 years, or even a year in 2024, where they gave Rudy another one. One of those 3 years. You telling me Bam could have got one in those 3 years? I think he could have got one in those 3 years. At least one of those.
Yeah. So
I ain't hear none of this championing for Bam before dude dropped 83 points. All of a sudden now you want to throw up this big defense. Oh, Bam been robbed like 3 or 4 years in a row for the DPOY. Like where was all this before he dropped 83? You being a prisoner of the moment? Huh?
No, how's that a prisoner moment when he dropped 83 today? He dropped 83 this year.
I haven't heard this.
Those are 3 previous years. And you could attest, we've had discussions on this pod specifically. I ain't never think Jaren Jackson Jr. should ever won DPOY. Not once.
That's because you a hater. That's why. I don't know what you and I don't know why y'all hate. I don't know why y'all.
Because he don't rebound.
Thank you. See, it's gonna be somebody that watches this is gonna be like, oh my gosh, Tone hater. No, this is just critiquing his game. You feel me? Like a lot of y'all in this era of basketball discourse, somebody say like, yo, you shouldn't have shot 2 for 44. Oh, he hating. I ain't hating. You 6'11".
I got the group chat receipts. You are hating.
You 6'11".
I'm trying to act different because we live and they can't see.
You 6'11". 6'11", averaging 4 rebounds. Come on now. Hey, somebody in the chat, let me know if you got a 6'11" dude averaging 4 rebounds. I don't know if you would be a fan of that either.
Listen, I agree with Tone 100%. I do not like Jaren Jackson for them same reasons. And I'm gonna tell you this: I do feel like they ended up giving him Defensive Player of the Year because at that season, I realized this. They made this new stat called stocks, steals and blocks put together. So supposedly Jaren Jackson Jr. had the most stocks that season. That's why he got him. But it's like, what about the rebounds? It's like, I would have been more fine with Rudy Gobert getting it that year because of the rebound and the blocks and everything. But like Jaren Jackson Jr., and I'm not going to take anything from Marcus Smart because I like Marcus Smart a lot. I do feel like he deserved that Defensive Player of the Year. And also shout out to Gary Payton, the last point guard to get Defensive Player of the Year. But I do feel like Bam probably could have got it that year. But I also do think the reason why Bam doesn't get it because his stats are not eye-popping as far as the defensive stats. His rebounds is always up there. Blocks, he hovers around 1. His steals hover around 1. But it's like, all right, it's Miami. They're always a solid defensive team, but I feel like they contribute that to Heat culture. They'll contribute just being Bam, being defensive anchor. So that's why I feel like he's kind of been robbed. Kind of like Anthony Davis with the Lakers. They always say he's always in the running for Defensive Player of the Year, but he never gets it. And it's like AD stats is always good defensively, but are the Lakers really a top-ranked defense those years? Like they waver sometimes when he was there, but who knows? Bam said it's politics behind it when it comes to Defensive Player of the Year. He might be right, though.
I 100% believe that is definitely politics that is a part of why Bam hasn't won. And yo, while I was getting my take off, y'all are hilarious. So Gary said,
oh my God, Muggsy Bogues average 4 rebounds.
Gary said Mario to Maxwell is diabolical. Ron gonna say somebody need to ask Tone what is a woman's worth in real life real quick. He said I'm over here went from Mario to Maxwell. I got good hair. What can I say? This is super soft.
Oh, we're talking about the hair. Oh damn, I didn't even notice. Yeah,
hey, we can't hear you, Rush.
You can't hear me?
Nah, we can't hear you.
Are you sure? Or are you messing with me?
What
about now?
Nah, we can't hear you. Mario to Maxwell that's a top 5. Y'all hilarious. Oh, y'all can hear him?
I can hear him too.
You can hear him too? Oh, I bet. I can't hear him, so.
You serious?
I'm dead serious. When
I thought you were messing with him.
Nah, I'm serious. Like when you leave and come back in, sometimes the host I don't hear it, but everybody else hear it. So I'll shut up and y'all can hear him. I'll figure it out on my end.
We got us on. What do you got? We got the great value version of StreamYard. Is that why it's jacked up? You can't hear me, so I can talk as much.
He said you have to. I'm not even close to snitch.
All right, I'll figure this out. I'm gonna ask the next on the rundown. Buy or sell on some of the longest win streaks that we got going on right now. Obviously, a part of those win streaks is the Thunder and the Spurs. We are not going to be talking about buying or selling on them because we know those are two legitimate teams and they have had multiple win streaks throughout this season. Starting off, though, the Atlanta Hawks are on a 7-game winning streak. Rush, are you buying or selling on what you've seen from the Hawks in these last 7 games?
I mean, I'll buy it, but I mean, I don't know that they're a team that's going to do anything, like in the actual playoffs. So I think they, they obviously made a mid-season acquisition, with getting Kuminga. So they're still kind of working him into what they're doing, but I mean, he obviously gives them a lift. Both for their bench offensively and I think even defensively. So I think that they'll be formidable. I think that they'll probably get in to the playoffs as I would say if I had to guess, maybe like an 8th or 7th seed. So I buy it from that standpoint of getting into the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to do any damage. But it's been really encouraging, especially the way Jalen Johnson's been playing. He's been phenomenal. He had a handful of dunks the other night that were just that were crazy. So, but yeah, I would buy them out.
You get Rush? Josh, you get Rush?
Tone, can you hear me?
What's your thoughts, Jarrett? I still don't hear none of y'all now, bro. I'm gonna check this out. Jarrett, you touch on the Hawks, and then y'all let me know what y'all think about the Miami Heat, who are on their 6-game win streak.
The Hawks. I feel like they're solid. I feel like they have mostly been even killed throughout the whole year. I think they've been like right at 500 for most of the season. I feel like the acquisition of John D. Kuminga is really going to take him over the hump. I want to give a shout out to Nickeil Alexander-Walker because he's really been balling this year. Should definitely be in the conversation for most improved. It'll probably go to somewhere else. But I feel like he probably is the most deserving player of the most improved award, other than, of course, his teammate Jalen Johnson. But I feel like they have a chance to make the playoffs, but I'm not completely sure if they can. I think last episode I said that I think the Hornets can make a push for the postseason as far as getting up to like at least 6. I did say that Miami probably can drop out, but I don't know. I don't want to discredit the second highest scoring player ever, but
already got your bias. Go ahead, say it. Speak your truth. Miami gonna fall out.
No, I mean,
just because Bam dropped 83.
No, fully healthy. I think Miami can do something though. Not do something, but they can make the playoffs. Like, they had a lot of injuries this year.
Can somebody in the chat see what the points per game increase for Nickeil Alexander is from last year to this year? I know he's at like 20, but
he's at 20 now. He did. But I think
I don't know what he did last year.
Last year, I want to say it was around like 9.
Last year he only had 9.
Yeah. Oh, so yours now. Good.
Yeah,
he wasn't really scoring last year. He's mostly been like kind of like that defender on the team. But I always thought one thing about him, I always thought he had the capability to be a 20-point scorer. Even when he was on the Pelicans, I feel like he could be a 20-point scorer.
But this goes back to our conversation regarding Bam. Like, any given year, some of these players, it all depends on opportunity. If they get the opportunity to get more shots, some teams you don't get those shots, bro. You don't get to shoot 15 to 20 times a game on the regular. I.e., for example, what was it, last night's game? Knicks played the Jazz last night, and Jordan Clarkson goes off for 27. Just because Jordan Clarkson been sitting on the bench, don't think that Joker still can't get to it. He just ain't been given the opportunity to get to it. And part of it, some of it is like, hey, we need some defense. This player's hot, that player's hot. But that's the thing that I think a lot of people take for granted when we talk about the NBA. Do you know how difficult it is to stay ready when you're the 13th or 14th player on the bench and your number gets called and you ain't played the last 10 games and you expected to perform? See, that's the difference in a lot of y'all in these men's leagues and the NBA. You don't play 3-4 games, you can't come in and drop 28. You can't do that. Campaign the other night had something like 27, 10 of 10 from the field, 4-4 from 3-point, 0 turnovers, and 8 assists. Campaign, who everybody is the butt of a lot of jokes, but at any given night, this man just went 100% from the field with 0 turnovers and a big time win.
And Kuzma had a big game that night too. Both these games was the same night as Bam's 83, and Kuzma had like a DNP the game before. He dropped, I think it was like 30 or 40 something, whatever it was. But go to show,
it was 30. My fault, Gary. It was 30. Campaign had a 30 piece and ain't missed one shot, 0 turnovers. And you was right. Last year he averaged 9.4. Nickeil Alexander-Walker. So
shout out to Nog.
Nog could get to it. Like, we've seen it even in the playoffs. We saw a little spurts of it, like, oh, hold on. It's a little something in that bag. That's why he's able to go to Atlanta, get a little extra change. Like
his cousin's bag. Took his cousin.
You feel me? It's something there to that. Speaking of just a little, I spread the love segment before we end up going to
Jarrett, Rome. This is it.
Hey, no, we're not promoting that till they pay us, bro. Let's talk about it.
That's like the third or fourth pour of this episode. You're all right. We need to talk.
I'm good. I'm good. Just having a good time.
I'm just trying to make sure ain't nothing going on, bro. It's like you lifted that bottle a couple times when you was recording. It's only been 40-something minutes. Just making sure we all right, man.
Well,
that's that jungle juice, bro. It tastes too good. He ain't gonna feel it till later.
Probably not.
When he not on with us.
Probably when I get up out of this chair.
Hey, you like it, I love
Yeah.
it, man.
Hey, be careful. Stand up slow off of that. Stand.
40 ounce a minute, mate.
Oh shoot, yo, Tyrone is. Hey, whoever got a pod, they need to have him, and they need to pay him to be in the chat, bro. This guy is elite, bro. You can't make this up.
Oh my god.
Oh goodness.
Oh wow. All right, what's next?
Facts. Word. We need to like Doc said. We need that Everclear deal. I had that once in my life, never again. But if y'all gonna pay C3, hey, before we get back to our show, we like to shout out to our sponsors, Everclear. Get you a bottle of Everclear today. Hey,
Man,
real quick, man.
we got to get a sponsor that promotes family values. We can't be out here promoting
Magic City.
all this heathen stuff. I'm just saying.
Hey, real quick, I want to spread love. Our spread the love segment. We are going to spread some love to Jayson Tatum and DeJounte Murray returning back from their Achilles heel injuries. They look good. I wouldn't say that they're back fully because their shooting percentages aren't where they normally are. They're getting back into the rhythm, obviously, of the game. But they've had spurts. They've had highlights where it's like, to be that good coming off that type of injury this soon, shout out to them. Tatum in his 3 games that he's played, they're 2-1, 19.7 points per game, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. And in those games, he had 15, 20, 24. So his points are going up every single game. Who knows? We might see a 30 piece. We might see a 40 piece before the end of the season, how Tatum has been playing, especially being that he has help from the Jaylen Browns of the world, that he has help from Peyton Pritchard and the rest of the great whites that they have on Boston. I could see him getting a 40 piece before the end of the season. And DeJounte Murray, we saw, I don't know, I personally, if I was on the floor, I wouldn't like him standing over there like that, but he's obviously feeling good. And he said he found his joy back. So shout out to DeJounte Murray. In his 7 games, the Pelicans are 4-3. They look way better with him at the point guard position. They look way better. Maybe the season would have been different if he was healthy. Zion looks better. Zion has played, I think, 50 games this year, something along that lines, which is the most. And he might end up in the range of 60, 65 games this year, which is the most we've seen from him. So shout out to Zion. In those 7 games, DeJounte Murray has 17 points, 2 steals, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. Absolutely insane stats coming off an Achilles injury. Talking about insane stats, Kawhi Leonard, the little brother team over there of the Lakers, the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard has been doing his thing. The Clippers have been surging as of late. Pretty much all after getting rid of Chris Paul, they've been a completely different team. They got rid of James Harden. Nobody expecting them to still be balling this well, but they have been balling well, and a lot of it is because of Kawhi Leonard. Right now, he is averaging a career high in points at 28.3 points per game on 50.3% shooting. His true shooting percentage is 57.3 with 6 rebounds and 2 steals. Is this the best Kawhi Leonard season that we've seen? Jarrett, you share what you think.
Other than that Toronto Raptors year, the championship year, yeah, I think this is probably the best we've seen Kawhi. I didn't realize how good of a season Kawhi was having until probably the All-Star break, when I started really thinking about, because he didn't make the All-Star team initially. So I was looking at the people saying that, oh, like this person was snubbed, blah, blah, blah. So I'm looking at Kawhi's stats. I'm like, hey, he's having a really good season. Then he went off in that All-Star game. I'm like, yeah, maybe he should have been initially on the team as a voting. But I think last night solidified that he is a player that is still a top player when he wants to be, when he's on the court. And feels like with the right team around him, he's definitely can push your team to a championship level. Clippers obviously is not in that predicament right now with all the moves that they have made. And even though they got Darius Garland and trade, I do feel like there's still a way before actually contending in a playoff spot. Well, at least in a deep playoff run. But Kawhi is definitely having a really good season, and I'm actually really impressed with how he's been playing this season. I feel like this is the best I've seen him in the last few years.
Hey, Paul, just let's just celebrate the moment. Let's just celebrate this season. Just like we are celebrating the moment with Bam, because if we look ahead, all reports is them boys gonna be in trouble over in Inglewood. There's some punishments coming down the pipeline. So let's just embrace this season. This might be his last. We might be seeing his last games as a Clipper. But
last games in the NBA. He could probably retire.
I don't think
all this situation.
I ain't gonna shed no tears for the Clippers. They deserve what's coming to them.
Hey, we want before we get into our mailbag segment, which again y'all have really shown up and show love. Appreciate that. Appreciate if y'all could make sure hit the thumbs up.
I'm sorry. I do apologize. I know you're trying to work, but I just saw something hit the chat, and I want to call out because a lot of times, Lakers fans, full-time Lakers fans, and part-time Lakers fans like yourself, Tone, we get criticized for being delusional.
I know where you're going,
and photoshopping free agents in Lakers jerseys. But you know a team, a fan base that skates by under the radar a lot of times? The Golden State Warriors. If I got to see Doc Thompson put another just these comments right here. Kawhi is not going to the Warriors. LeBron is not coming to the Warriors. And the last time y'all got damaged goods superstar, it was Boogie. How'd that work out for y'all? So you need to chill out. Okay, and just run Steph into the ground like y'all been doing, and get ready for the next generation. Y'all are not getting any help. So I hope that Jimmy Butler rehab comes along great. Y'all ain't getting no help.
Oh gosh, they got Porzingis.
Not run Steph into the ground.
I mean, he's got runner's knee, literally.
Oh man.
No, it's all love. I love Doc. But they are as delusional as we are. I'm just saying, as a fan base. So for some reason,
I throw Thunder fans in that conversation as well.
In what regard?
In the regard of they don't ever foul. Dort is a clean player. Oh, let's put it all in perspective.
I think actually, most Warriors. Excuse me, damn. I got Warriors on my mind. Most Thunder fans I've seen have actually called Dort out for a lot of his stuff recently. Like I don't know what he did to hit Jokic in the face.
Backswing
with his elbow. A lot of them called that out. The ones that I saw, at least. No, I'm not on X, so I don't know what's going on over there. But
hey, I mean,
the Reds ones were pretty decent.
Hey, sometimes you gotta have repeat offenders for people to actually see what we've all been seeing. I'll just leave it at that regarding Mr. Lugent's Dort. But
hey, I don't know about Bron going to the Sixers, but
ain't no way in hell he's going to the Sixers.
He'll be even more frustrated over there than he is now, than he may be right now.
Yeah, that I don't know how that would pan out. All right, before we get into our mailbag segment, make sure you share this stream, tell anybody about this. Keep getting in the comments for us. Make sure you subscribe. If you're watching at this point and you are not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Y'all took that too serious.
Can't be too
Jarrett,
careful.
I want you to start off with this, right? If you could add one Knicks player in the history of the New York Knicks, right? You could add one Knicks player to the current roster to help them improve, not the best player, but this current roster that would help the Knicks improve. Who would you add to this current Knicks roster?
Can I do two? So I'm contemplating on two. I feel like we need a few things.
Yeah, you got one player. You got one player to pick up for the end of the season and for a playoff run. Who would you pick up?
All right. I'm gonna go with Charles Oakley. We need some toughness.
Jeremy
Honestly.
Lin.
Nah. We don't need Jeremy Lin. He don't play on defense. We don't need him. We need Oakley. We need someone who's gonna play defense, who's gonna be tough, or who's gonna get on Cat, who's gonna tell Cat what he need to hear. Because I feel like someone is not in Cat's ear right now, telling him, like, listen, you need to lock in. You need to shoot the ball. You need to play some defense. We need someone like that on this team. Someone with some leadership. And I'm not saying Brunson's not a great leader, but I feel like he's not the type of leader that Oakley is. Like, he's not like a tough love kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need someone who's rugged, who's going to like rip a new one in you.
So you need somebody there that's going to prevent him from being at the Lakers game saying "Big Cat's home." Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. We don't need that from you right now.
Big Cat's home. Big Cat's home.
We need someone who's gonna. Yeah, we need someone with some toughness. We gonna like let you know. Listen, we don't do that here. Chill out. Wake up.
Hey, but that game didn't. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he have like 28 and 15?
Yeah, he be having.
Hey, you could Big Cat home all you want. 28 and 15. Big Cat's home.
Nah, nah. We don't need that. We don't need Big Cat's home. We need Carl. We need Carl. That's what we need. We don't need Carl Anthony. We need Carl.
Hey, Rush, same question to you, right? If you could add one Lakers player from the history of the Lakers organization to this current roster that would help them improve, who would you add?
Let me run our test or Meta World Peace, whatever he was at the time. I think it was Meta. Meta World Peace.
I really
I feel like that's
that
self-explanatory. I don't think I need to delve any further. So I'm just,
especially the run that he had with the Lakers, hitting the big shots. That would be a great pick to this current team. If you had Meta World Peace on this roster, is that a championship level team, you think?
I think so. I mean, I think so. And you still have the big question mark of Aiden, right? So I think if he plays like he played, these last couple games, because we don't need him to do 20 and 10, right? We just need him to sorry, I'm reading comments as I'm responding. I'll explain myself if I have to. But but I think Meta, our biggest gap has been perimeter defense. We need a guy that can guard multiple positions on the wing, maybe even guard up if he has to, but can be a legitimate threat on the defensive side, but can also, do some things on offense. And I feel like Meta World Peace can do that. But I mean, obviously the easiest response would have been Shaq probably, but I think the perimeter defense on the wing is a bigger glaring hole than offense. Honestly, at the center position.
Yeah, everybody in the chat is saying obviously they're shocked that you didn't say Kobe or Shaq. I don't think Kobe would work. I don't think would work with this specific roster with Luka, Austin Reeves, and Bron. It's only one basketball. I don't think that would work.
Lakers don't need another superstar. They need role guys who can fill out the margins. That's what I think.
They need James Worthy.
James Worthy would work. Andrew Bynum would be a nice
Work.
piece.
Ooh,
Pau Gasol would be a nice piece.
shit, you know who y'all need? Y'all need Dwight Howard right now.
I don't know if he's available right now.
He's just retired.
No, I'm not talking about being retired. There's been some stuff that came out recently about a white substance that he's involved with. So I don't know.
Forget all that.
Mm.
We know what Dwight can do when he's locked in.
I would even like Lamar Odom on this roster.
Yeah.
He covers up some of those works that we
we
don't have with DeAndre Ayton. Secondary ball handler, rebound, play defense. So it's a lot of other options I think I would personally pick before I even got to Kobe or Shaq. But of course, if you add Shaq to this team, of course, nobody in this current iteration of the NBA is doing anything with Shaq. So of course, but with Luka again and Austin Reeves, is this team really set up to have a player that's in the post getting all those touches?
Yeah,
That's
you heard all the fights Kobe and Shaq had. Shaq could probably strangle Luka. He'd probably take one too many step back threes. Shaq called timeout himself and strangle that man. So yeah, it probably wouldn't work.
He would be making rap songs about Luka for sure. Probably around game 47. He would have said something for sure. All right, we're gonna get into another great mailbag segment. Doc Thompson, if you had to choose the positive 5-year future of one of the bottom 10 teams, who would you choose first and who would you choose last? And for y'all, if y'all do not know who the bottom 10 teams are, we are talking about obviously the Wizards of the world. We are talking about the Blazers. We are talking about at the bottom 10 Kings. Any of those teams come to mind for you that you would choose positive 5-year future of one of the bottom 10? You got the Utah Jazz in that mix, of course. You obviously have the Indiana Pacers, the Brooklyn Nets, the Chicago Bulls, the Milwaukee Bucks, Memphis Grizzlies, Pelicans, Mavs. Who out of those teams would you pick first, Jarrett, for the next 5 years of a positive 5-year future?
Okay, so I'm going to leave the Wizards out of this because my biased opinion will come out because I report for them.
Look at that ethical journalism.
Ethical journalism. But I would
how many ethicals is that for the episode? Somebody in the chat. I'm sure somebody's keeping count.
You know, funny thing is, I think I would pick Utah. Like, I think they can become the team of the future with the size that they have if they decide to keep marketing on the roster. Marketing, Jarrett Jackson Jr., Walker Kessler. Bryce Ball has been balling, man. Like, he's really starting to really put it all together as a scorer for this team. Still got Keontae George, who I thought is borderline all-star. Isaiah Collier, who I'm a big fan of as well. I feel like they have enough pieces. I just feel like they just need to be healthy. Honestly, that's really the key for them, just be healthy. And I feel like they can make a push for the playing team. 5 years, they can probably be a playoff contender on the top six teams. Yeah, I could see them being a team that can make some noise in the playoffs. I feel like just with kind of like their flexibility on the roster, we've not Jaren Jackson Jr. a lot, but I feel like for him with this team, he can probably play the 3. He's able to guard the perimeter a little bit. He doesn't rebound a lot, so he has the length to, still get inside and show some type of effort, but he has the quickness to guard the perimeter. Plus, you have Walker Kessler down there, who's actually a very good shot blocker. So you kind of like funnel perimeter players to Walker. So you put Markin in there. That's a pretty good, front court. Them 3 7-footers basically. So I feel like that's the team to go with going into the future.
Hey, so part of his question, he asked also who would be the last team you would choose. I'll just say it right now, and I think pretty much we will all be on the same page. Sacramento Kings is the last team I would choose. I wouldn't choose them for a 10-year window, 15-year window, 20-year window, 25-year window until Vivek sells a team and they literally they tear that down to the studs because their management do not know what they're doing. So the Kings would be the last team I would choose. I want to throw a team in there just to show them some love and Rush could take it over. The Indiana Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton coming next season. We saw what they could do with Tyrese fully healthy at the helm, running that engine. Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal and whatever else they do throughout the rest of this next 5-year window, which I think they've proven. Obviously, this year has been an injury, so they can build a roster around Tyrese Halliburton and Siakam and get right back up to a top 5, top 6 team in the East very easily within these next 5 years. Rush, Grizzlies, maybe for you. Memphis ties.
Hey, look, I think my mom's is watching, so don't be disrespecting her hometown, all right? don't make her come for you, all right? Because she'll can get you in the comments. I'm just saying. I told you all at the beginning of the episode, don't be talking about Memphis. You never know what's gonna roll up in the chat. So I'm just saying. But no, I would not pick Memphis. I actually struggle with this one because there's a number of teams that I really like that have the best 5-year outlook for various reasons. I started to say Mavs. I think, like Ty said, the potential of adding a top 5 pick with Cooper, and then Kyrie coming back. And then the number of moves that I think that they have the potential to make is scary. I think you're looking at Dallas as a playoff team next year, honestly. But I think I would go Wizards and then Jazz. The Wizards have obviously Anthony Davis, Trae Young. They've got Sarr. They've got Bub. They've got Bilal. Like, they've got talent. Trey Johnson. Like, they've just got a lot of talent, and you got a one top 75 all-time player on your roster. Assuming he can be healthy for some portion of the season, some maybe like at least 40, 50 games. Assuming Trey can do the same. I mean, you've got potential for a playoff team if those 3 guys that I mentioned or 4 guys that I mentioned, make a leap over the summer into next year. In the East, that after you get past the first 2 teams, I mean, it's kind of wide open. I mean, I don't know that you could probably say any one team of the Wizards. You could probably wouldn't be surprised if teams that would make the playoffs now, like, maybe would be seeds lower or would fall out of playoff contention the next year. It's just the East is wide open. So I really like Washington with the two vets they added and the young guys they have, the potential to add another top pick to their crop. Or who knows, maybe you could flip it and a number of your young guys, if you've got another disgruntled star, and you could try to run the whole big 3 thing back, although it'd probably be like a big 2.5. But yeah, so I like Washington, and then you all know the Jazz have my heart. They're my favorite league pass team. I don't want to be too redundant because I know Jarrett gave them some love, but I really think with Jaren Jackson Jr., Larry Markkinen, Keontae George continuing to take leaps, Ace Bailey's going to be better. Filipowski, like all those guys, I think they could be looking at a play-in to the bottom of the standings team next year. Honestly, I really do. And I concur the worst team would be the Sacramento Kings. So sorry to Tim or Ben, excuse me, but I mean, just looking at the team, I mean, you've got a couple of nice young guys. But outside of that, it just feels bleak, and it's been bleak for a while. And I don't see a path for them to get significantly better in the next 5 years.
Hey, we got royalty in the chat. Royalty is in the chat. Marvel Rush is in the building. Royalty is in the chat. What's up? What's up? We appreciate you. Happy Rome. You a funny dude, bro. I don't know if you saw Rush. He asked, did you give her flowers?
In what sense? Like literal
Women's-
flowers? Like
I guess
yeah, I
women's
give my mom
history.
flowers. Oh,
Women's
I mean,
History Month.
I give my mom her flowers every time I talk to her. So she
Yes, Doc. We appreciate you for the Bill Simmons Bill Simmons level question. It was actually a great question. Made us think in the chat when we saw it. Was like, hey, this is a really good question. We got to think about it. So shout out to you, Doc. Next one we got up
hey,
here.
don't give him any more shout outs, please. The rest of the episode. He's out. He's good. He doesn't need no more.
Everybody knows this guy. We love this guy.
Hey, I love that we're at the point of our relationship where Tone just ignores me and tries to keep going. I know we got something special because dude is just straight up roll his eyes and try to keep it pushing. So I appreciate that.
Stephen Boyd D. Wallace is his Threads account, but we all know who that is. He asks, what's your thoughts on the rumor so far that it came out today that there is a possibility and that the highest contract that he could possibly receive for Austin Reeves is 5 years, $240 million. Rush, would you give AR that contract? If not, what type of contract would you give AR, money and years wise?
That's a lot of money. I'm just gonna say.
By the way, that would be the largest contract ever given out in Lakers history,
right? Yeah.
Lakers history?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I think it might be a bit much to be honest with you. Now there's a couple ways to look at it, right? Like it is a lot of money, but with the new deal that the league signed, you would expect with any cap projection that the cap is going to raise, significantly over the next, or would raise significantly over the life of the deal. So therefore his contract would therefore take up a lesser percentage of the cap every year going forward. That notwithstanding, I do still feel like that would be a little bit too much. My math is a little shaky. I was an English major in school, but I think that would be like average 48 million a year ish in that ballpark. So I mean, what are we talking about now? Like the Lakers had trouble adding stars to the margins of their roster because they were paying Luka this much and they were paying LeBron this much. You replace that with Austin, and I think you kind of put yourself in the same situation, at least in the short term. You may have limited funds to be able to make those changes. Now, what the Lakers can do and probably will do is because his cap hold is so low, I think it's only like 20 million. They'll probably wait to sign him to his deal until they get, the pieces around him, whatever pieces they're going to get, and then have him sign his deal. So that way his cap hit doesn't go up immediately. So it allows them to make moves this summer. But when you're going forward into later years, I think it might be a hindrance depending upon how much more he progresses. And once that's done, how quickly he declines, because he's already like 27 going on 28, I think. So he's sort of already in that prime window, but we don't know how long it's going to be. And you're already talking about a guy who's not a superstar. So to pay that much money, I mean, it gives me pause. I'm glad I don't have to make the decision, but I don't think that I would give it to him. I would do something maybe in like the 190 range, 190 million. I don't know that I would go too far over 200, but luckily not my decision, not my money.
Yeah, I agree that Lakers, like he was talking about, Ben, Lakers let Caruso go, and that didn't turn out too well. But I agree. I don't know about 240 being the number. I haven't dove into his contract specific in regards of anybody could pay him over 200 outside of the Lakers.
Ron, you got one more. I'm kicking you out. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, one more, and I'm gonna start back calling you Ron.
Pay Reeves, trade G Luka. All right, man. So the second part of this question that was asked, Jarrett rushed, and I'll do it. What's your favorite movie of last year? What was your favorite movie of last year? You gonna start it off, Jarrett?
Last year, funny enough, I don't feel like I didn't watch a lot of movies last year. But Sinners. Definitely Sinners.
I mean, that's probably gonna be everybody's answer, right?
I think that's gonna be everybody's answer. Yeah, but I actually rewatched that joint recently. You know, I always interpret how much I like a movie when it gets me thinking about the movie after I watch it the first time. And I feel like I gotta watch like YouTube videos about the movie and everything, and do like read articles about it, like think pieces about it. That's when I really realized like I like that movie. So definitely Sinners. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan, Delroy Lindo, all those people involved in the movie. Definitely, you guys deserve an Oscar for that movie.
I'll go to a different pick. Mine was Wake Up Dead Man. I like the movies that make you think, had a mystery style and things of that nature to it. So Wake Up Dead Man was actually my favorite movie of the year. For those that don't know, I actually very much love movies and TV. So I have episodes on the BME where I talk about specifically the top movies, 2025, 90s, all of that. So for me, yes, kudos, shout out to them. They deserve every single bit of love that they get. Ryan Coogler, Michael B. Jordan is Shaq Kobe.
That's a fact.
Shaq Kobe right there for sure. So definitely shout out to them for that movie. But just to give a different answer, no love for the White Man Can't Jump remake starring Jack Harlow. No, that's not
Who said
it's
that?
not getting love. That's
I didn't think I didn't think it was that bad, to be honest with you.
it's not getting love though. It's one of the best movies.
No, absolutely not. And it came out like 2 years ago, didn't it? 2-3 years ago.
I haven't watched that.
I don't know when it came out, but being that I'm just as much as a basketball junkie, I am a TV movie head. So I did watch it. I give it like a 6.5 out of 10 if I had to give it a grade. But yeah. So next one on the man that just got threatened to be kicked out of the chat for good.
I'm not gonna be able to get my pick.
You just said Sinners.
I said I feel like everyone's gonna pick Sinners, but you made me second think.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
I'll shut up.
My position. First and foremost, though, I gotta just make sure I was hearing clearly. Did you plug another podcast on our podcast? Is that what you just did?
Yeah. So you know how you listen to the numbers on the board. Kenny Beecham shouts out his pod, and Pee Wee shouts out his pod. That's all I was doing. I was following greatness.
Oh, you Kenny Beecham
on the way.
That's true. But are you there yet?
On the way.
Until we get corner 3 built up, you holla, you shout out corner 3. All right. We know BME, your 2 million views and whatever you got minutes watched. We understand. All right. I need all your energy focused on the corner 3. Now, secondly, more seriously, does it have to be a movie that came out last year, or can it just be a movie that we saw last year?
Give us a movie that you saw last year.
Sinners obviously was very good, great, should get all the awards. But a movie that was pretty good that I didn't expect, that I had no intention of watching. I don't think it came out last year, or maybe it did. But Quiet Place 2 was really, really good, and I didn't expect it. I watched it on a whim, and was captivated. It was really good.
I have not watched that movie yet, but I've been meaning to watch it.
Pretty good.
So just for those,
they're doing a number 3.
Just for those that's maybe tapped in and want to know, Quiet Place 2 came out in 2020. For those that never heard of it, it is a horror sci-fi genre film.
5 years old? That's crazy.
Damn, that's crazy. Yeah.
Time flies.
Where'd you watch it on?
I watched it on Paramount Plus.
I think it's on HBO Max too.
It's on Paramount. It's on Paramount Plus. So if y'all want to watch it, y'all got Paramount Plus. Go check it out on Paramount Plus. You could buy it on Apple TV.
Hold on. When did the first one come out then?
Hey, you got to rush that. I don't know. I ain't watched the first one.
At this point, I have no concept of time. So I don't know. It could have came out 8 years ago for all I know.
2018. First one came out 2018.
So 8
The-
years.
I
Exactly.
watched the first one. I didn't watch the second one. That's crazy. I didn't realize it was 5 years since the second one came out. That's crazy.
Hey, I ain't watched the first one, the second one, so y'all better than me.
No, you should watch it, Tone. It's a really good movie.
You should. And you should talk about it on the BME podcast that you just watched.
Hey, Ron asks, are the Wolves cooked? Is it time to move on from Rudy Gobert?
I'm gonna leave the Rudy Gobert concept behind because I'm done with Rudy Gobert. I'm done with him.
Why?
Well, for one,
Because he's
you
not getting the
remember-
touches. He's not getting the touches.
I'm about to say, you remember the comment he made about like, oh, people not passing the ball and everything. Like, bro, what are you doing in the off season that equates to players want to pass you the ball on offense? You haven't shown anything that shows, all right, we could throw it to you in the post. Go get a bucket. Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I've been good on Rudy Gobert for a while. So, Tony, you on mute.
I'll say that on this part, right? I'll say that on this part. If we get on Luka for not passing the rock enough, I think Ant can't be given the same pass. Maybe you don't want to pass it to Gobert, but there are games where Ant could get the rest of the team involved. For example, I forget who was talking about it, but the most recent game that SGA had against the Nuggets, that's how you should be playing. Somebody that could obviously score 40, 50 points any single given night. But that game, I don't think they win that game if SGA doesn't get his teammates involved and give them the confidence by the time fourth quarter come to hit those big shots. I do think Ant and Luka at times could do a better job of being more pass first and having a different approach to the game, because we know those two players, for example, specifically, y'all could get 50 whenever y'all want. The first defender, you don't see the first defender. All they play literally figuring out what the back two defenders are going to be. So that's just how I feel. Maybe it's not Gobert. Maybe you don't pass the rock to Gobert, but the rest of that team, I think Ant could do a better job of playmaking and getting them involved, because we see they're on a little losing streak right now, but in other moments they're world beaters. You could put them against the 96 Dream Team and they'll compete with them. And then when they go play Grambling State, they lose.
That's why you need a point guard. I was saying that all season. Last 2 seasons.
Okay. So since Rush didn't seem too intrigued in this topic, we will ask something that's closer to home. New goats on Threads.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't know if there was more. I don't think the Wolves are cooked. I think that they're just maybe in a rough stretch of their of their schedule, and I think this sort of happened similarly last year. I think they weren't playing well. They dropped down into like play-in territory, and then they won enough games. I can't remember. So keep me honest if I'm wrong. I think they won enough games to get out of the play-in but into the playoffs. And then obviously they smoked our Lakers, or my Lakers. So I'm wary of saying that they're cooked, because I've seen what they can do when that squad can do when they get to the playoffs, what Ant can do when he gets to the playoffs. I do think that there might be the beginnings of a thing there with Gobert and Ant. Apparently they love each other, but the comments are very interesting. I think the press asked Ant what he thought about what Finch said, I think after a recent loss, like his assessment, and Ant was just like, oh, well, whatever coach says, he said, I have something I want to say, but I don't know that I want to say it, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, there may be some there may be some strife within them that may ultimately affect how well they do. And this is like the third or fourth year with this nucleus. And normally we see, if you haven't got over the hump, normally around that time frame, you look to start, tearing down and building back up. So I don't think they're cooked, but I do think that they're in a rough stretch right now. But I wouldn't be surprised if they started playing better.
All right, so we're gonna end off with let's touch 3 more. We're gonna have 3 more, and we will end off this episode. All right, the rest of y'all that sent in some questions and some topics, we will touch on them next week. Y'all sent in a lot, so we are not at the level yet where we could do a 3-hour episode or anything like that. And
yeah, because my Lakers come on at 10:30.
Yeah, so we have
y'all can still record. You just see my screen just drop off at 10:30.
Nope.
Nah, everybody want to hear from El Capitan. New Goat on Threads. That's the account name. New Goat, as in KNEW Goat. Said, how should the Hornets upgrade their roster this offseason? His suggestion is that they bring in a solid starting center that can roll to the basket and keep Musa as a key rotation player. So offseason, as good of a season that the Hornets have had, they are still a playing team currently. What would you add to that roster in the offseason, Rush?
I wanna pull something up. Hold on.
Got the toothpick and everything. He about to cook.
Hold on, almost done. All right. We're gonna play a guessing game. Not a guessing game, but I'm gonna ask y'all. The starting lineup: Diabate, Bridges, Miller, Knuppel, LaMelo. When they're on the floor together, what do you think their net rating is?
You said this the other day. God. You literally said this the other day. It's a plus something. It's a crazy stat. I think they got the best plus minus in league history or some crazy stat.
Go ahead, Tom.
I want to say it's maybe, I think it was something around either 29 or 30. Because I know they in the last 20 years they have the number 2 best net rating for a starting 5 in the last 20 years, and most of those teams on that list are 50-win teams. So that's crazy how good they are.
I think it was that high at one point. Right now it's 25.1. Offensive rating 136.1, defensive rating 111. Like, it's crazy. I don't know that they need to switch anything with their starting lineup. I don't know that you need to replace Diabate. I think he's doing a pretty good job, honestly. And then you've got the kid behind him. What's his name? Kalkbrenner. He's solid too. Like, I think if anything, they just maybe need to solidify the bench. Like, decide if Kobe White is going to be your 6th man. If so, lock him up, and then continue to just build your roster. I mean, the bench gets pretty thin pretty quickly. So maybe just continue to build that out around the margins. But I like what they have presently. I don't know that they need to tinker with too much. You just need to continue to grow and build and maybe, strengthen that bench up a little bit. But I love what they have. And the doc agrees. So I know I'm right. Oh dang! I said we couldn't give him any more compliments.
Yeah, Kobe White was a good pickup. I think it's bench mainly because you got Kobe White on the bench. You got the likes of Grant Williams. You got the vet Xavier Tillman. He's not getting that too much playing time. Kalkbrenner, of course. You got Trey Man, baby AI right there. So I think fill out the bench some more. And like I said, like Doc said, this is one of those young teams. You just let them build. Don't tinker too much with this roster. And y'all got to remember, LaMelo he's had some injuries throughout the season. If they're all healthy, Brandon Miller has some injuries as well. If they're all healthy the entire season, let's see next year. Let's see next year if they could be healthy, how high and how good it can get, and then we could decide if we're tinkering with that starting five roster. Zan Raid asks, who is the best Kentucky player currently in the league? We all talked about it and said obviously that answer is SGA. So we're going to give you our top 3 players that are currently in the league that came from Kentucky. Jarrett, you started off. And these are active players, obviously.
Active players outside of SGA because he is the consensus. I'm gonna go with De'Aaron Fox. I'm a big De'Aaron Fox fan. We gotta go with the guy, Fox's roommate in college. We gotta go with the guy who scored 83. We gotta go with Bam. And we gotta go with Booker. Booker should be top 2 behind SGA as far as Kentucky players. I feel like that's the guy that behind SGA, he is the best scorer on all the Kentucky players list as far as Calipari era. If we just talking Calipari, because if we talking Kentucky overall, we can go different names.
No, we talking Kentucky overall. Does that change who you put on there for you? No Rob Dillingham love?
No, I mean, to be honest with you, if we go in full Kentucky, I would put Rondo on that list.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put Rondo on that list as well.
But it's active players. Active players.
Okay, active. All right, so active, yeah, then that's my 3 picks, yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, Rush, who's your 3 picks?
We're not doing SGA, right? You got 3
Nah,
players.
not SGA.
I would actually go Murray, Jamal, Tyrese, Maxey, Jarrett Vanderbilt. It's probably Bam, and Bam, and then probably Cat. Was where I would go.
Oh, we didn't even say AD. That is crazy.
You didn't say Cat.
I mean, I said Cat on purpose. I know I ain't say Cat, but I'm actually.
No love to Julius Randle either. Former Knick legend.
Yeah,
I'll be honest. I forgot about Anthony Davis, but maybe that's
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's telling that I did. So, my bad.
I don't think I would change anybody that y'all mentioned, but to just give some love to the 37 active players from Kentucky that are in the league currently. I'm not going to name all 37, but you have Bam, Devin Booker, Anthony Davis. You got Justin Edwards, De'Aaron Fox, SGA, Tyler Hero, Tyrese Maxey, Malik Monk, Jamal Murray, Emmanuel Quickly, Julius Randle, Nick Richards, Shaden Sharp, Reed Shepard, Jacob Toppin, Cat, Jarrett Vanderbilt, PJ Washington, and Cason Wallace. It's a lot of Kentucky in the NBA, and most of those names that I mentioned are stars or legit rotational players to some championship teams. So shout out to Kentucky. And to end off this episode, the last one that we will have, sticking in a sense with Kentucky, our guy Miguel. Yeah, we'll post it. I ain't gonna do that to you. And it's not you. It's not your name. I wrote it too quick. I can't even read what this is. No cap.
Hold on, Tom. You never said where your fandom came from.
We ain't got to. We're not gonna do that this episode.
I want to hear it.
Nah, we're not gonna do that this episode.
Hey, Tone was like Kevin Garnett when he saw equivalent.
Hey, at least I ain't trying to say it. Matter of fact, let me see if I pull it up real quick.
Miguel, nah. I ain't gonna do it.
Because somebody commented on the first one and the second one. Let's see. But Miguel asks, did SGA lock up MVP again? And is with Tatum back, are the Celtics the new fave in the East? So you start off with that one, Jarrett, about SGA. Did he lock up MVP again this year?
Yeah, I feel like he locked it up earlier this season, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like he's been kind of the favorite all season long. I think I've been very kind of adamant about, I feel like OKC will repeat this year and SGA will repeat as regular season and finals MVP. And the second question was about the Celtics.
Yeah, with Tatum being back, are they the favorites in the East now?
No. No. Straight up like that, no.
You knew that.
Hey,
well
so
what he was gonna say
before
when
you go
asked
rush,
him that
Miguel
question. You knew he was
Montero
gonna say no.
PR. Miguel Montero PR. So, like I said, it wasn't his name. His account name wasn't terrible. It was my handwriting because I was trying to rush write it all. I'm old school. I still write stuff down on paper. So all my notes for every episode is written down, handwritten. So I was rushing. It's a whole lot of the questions up here.
You like Zach Lowe, man. You got the notes. It's all good.
Facts, but I agree in regards of SGA. I think specifically, if you had any questions, that game against the Denver Nuggets locked it up. Back-to-back MVPs for him this year. I agree on that aspect. I won't say they're the favorites, but I feel the Detroit Pistons are a vulnerable number one seed, which opens the door for the Celtics. And with how Tatum's looking, I say Celtics should be in the conversation for the top two favorite teams in the East.
Yeah, I think Shea has it locked up. I think the only reason why he wouldn't have won it is if he ended up missing more than the allowed amount of games. Denver's just kind of going the wrong way, even though Jokic is still hooping, right? Like, I mean, he's still averaging a triple-double, and his advanced statistics are still ridiculous. But I do think I think we're going to see Shea repeat as MVP. And I'm going to plead the fifth on the Celtics part.
Figured that. And wrong. I do have line paper as well. So, and if you missed it, he said I was a serial killer for having paper without the lines. So,
Your role is crazy.
Facts, but that's a wrap here on the Corner 3 pod. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow us on Threads as well. We appreciate y'all and the love that y'all show when Rush decides to post. Make sure you say that same love when Corner 3 page posts. Put the questions under that page as well. Make sure you go follow Corner 3. Y'all already know the best 3 is the Corner 3.